Hey guys, welcome to the Total Hockey Training Podcast. This is going to be a little bit different. I really enjoy having my guests on, and those come out on a bi-weekly basis. And I hope you enjoy those. I have some outstanding guests coming up real soon, people from the National Hockey League and some other coaches and some younger players. And so that's been a lot of fun. Also, I've created a community, the school hockey, total hockey training community. Check it out. It's in the description below. It's free for now. Ultimately, I would like to take it to a paid online community. I've been putting a lot of work into this content and updates, and check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I want to take it to the next level. Total Hockey Training, the online community, is going as well, the online training program, and we're in season still. And my clients on there are doing unbelievable. It's a lot of fun. Okay, so I'm going to start doing these solo podcasts. I know episode 0, if you follow the podcast, was a solo one, and it was one that I kind of introduced what I was going to do. But I want to talk briefly about my transition from the NHL to what I'm doing now. And I had a guest on the other day. That episode's going to come out in mid-March. And he said to me, Sean, I think it's really neat what you're doing in your post-NHL career. And that hit me a little bit. I was like, wow, thank you very much. And because there is a time when your NHL career ends for anybody. And as a strength and conditioning coach, I had an awesome 19 years. I do miss the fact that I'm not working in the team environment, but I also don't. And I miss the camaraderie of the players believing in what you do, the jokes and all that stuff. I really miss that part of it. I miss the deep playoff runs, especially that we had in Anaheim, and I miss, winning the Stanley Cup and trying to win another Stanley Cup. I do miss that, but I don't miss the fact of, I didn't get to see my kids that much, and now I get to have the freedom of if I want to go to Boston and see my son play, I'll watch him play. If I want to go to a Woodbury hockey rink and watch Wyatt play, I can do that as well, my other son. And so the freedom that I have now, it's really awesome. I had this entrepreneurial itch, especially my last couple of years when I worked with Minnesota, and I think, what, I can do that. And I wanted to create a business where I can help hockey players. And I'm doing that. I'm doing that in at Skahan Sports Conditioning. And I had to have a lot of guts to be able to do it. And I did it. And it's the old me would have been like, yeah, that's risky. I don't know if I can do that. But I kind of look at like this new version of me, like it's screw it. I'm just going to go do it and people will come. And it is happening. It's happening organically. Yeah, I'm posting a lot on Facebook and Instagram to generate a buzz about it because it's free. And why wouldn't I want to do that? And so the podcast is another thing that I never could see myself doing. And I'm doing it. I just published episode 40. I'm sitting in front of the camera right now talking to you guys while talking to my computer. And it's been a lot of fun. I really enjoy it. And I want to say thank you to that guest for asking, for saying that comment. And it's pretty cool. Okay, so what I want to talk about in the first kind of solo episode here is off-season training. Obviously, I am a strength and conditioning coach. I think the off-season should be spent on working on those qualities such as speed, power, strength, conditioning, mobility, flexibility, because you have the time to put into working on that when you don't have a lot of time in other parts of the year to do that. And it's ideally the best time to be working on that is the off season. So we have our program from mid-June through the end of August. But I want to talk about what other kids have to deal with in the summer. And it's getting to be a situation where it's kind of overkill. Now I want to talk about Minnesota high school hockey specifically, where their season ends in mid-March. Ideally, they get to the XL Energy Center and they play in the state tournament. Ideally, they win the state tournament, but for getting to the state tournament for a lot of teams and a lot of programs, it is a heck of an accomplishment. And if you've never been to a Minnesota State high school tournament, I would recommend that. Even if you're not from Minnesota, come check it out. It's unreal. I have a lot of respect for the state of Minnesota for holding true to its value, and I don't see the value of the state high school tournament ever dropping. But their season ends mid-March, hopefully, and then they have this program called STP, and I think it's actually pretty good. In the month of June and July, high school teams can be with their players, and it consists of practices, consists of working out. Some teams have scrimmages. I don't necessarily agree with that, but some teams do. You don't want to get injured in the summer because the games don't count. But I don't know. It does happen, and it's kind of sad sometimes. But I get it. If you're a high school player, you have to attend those things with your team, and I get it. You're a kid. Maybe you played JV last year. You want to make varsity next year. I know your coach might not be physically writing down attendance every day, but he's going to know who's been there. He's going to know, he or she's going to know who's been there on a daily basis, putting in the work under their direction. And I think that's important. But dealing with a lot of athletes, it's, hey, my coach thinks I need to gain 10 pounds, or my coach thinks I need to work on my acceleration. My coach wants me to work on my conditioning. My coach wants me to work on being able to sustain a shift better. And it's like, okay, well, what I can do can help you with that. We can work on your speed. We can work on your power. We can work on your strength. We can work on your conditioning. We can work on your mobility and flexibility. But what a lot of kids are up against today is you have these other programs that are involved around and available to kids. It's 5 days a week of training. It's 5 days a week of training off the ice. And so this is for both boys and girls, by the way. Kids have a lot to choose from. And a lot of times, I think the fear of missing out is taken into consideration. Well, so and so does this, they're pretty good. I should probably do that too. And it's not necessarily the right thing because I think if your coach says to you, I want you to gain 10 pounds or get faster, whatever it is, and you have a plan to do that, I think a lot of kids need to subtract a lot of things, meaning that, okay, if you're going to lift, if you're going to strength train, if you're going to get powerful and faster, you need to be able to recover between those workouts. So adding on two or sometimes three more skates a day in June and July is very counterproductive to that. And what I see is a lot of kids, they don't get better. They don't get better. And they don't get better at the most important time of the year is when the high school hockey season starts in November. Okay. You don't, being the best high school hockey player in June and July doesn't mean anything. And so what also happens is in August, September, and October, these players are not with their teams. And ideally, and still in high school, a lot of players play other sports such as football, soccer, golf, and other spring sports, which is great. But a lot of these kids don't. And so what are they doing? And it's obviously I'd like them to come and train so they can get strong and as fast as they can before the season starts. But they still do these other things over and over and over again. And then you add in the captain's practices. So what I'm saying is that if your goal is to get faster and stronger during the off season, which I think at any age it should always be, make that the focus, especially if your coach or in juniors, your general manager or head coach tells you to do this, do it. Everything else, it's going to be there, but you're not necessarily getting better. And by not doing that stuff, you're allowing your bodies to recover and maximize your potential over and over again throughout your strength and conditioning program. So I hope that helps. And I really enjoy doing this. Again, I love doing these things, and it's just me and the computer talking. And if you have any other topics you'd like me to discuss, let me know. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.